My neighbor is having their Amazon packages delivered to my apartment. I was wondering if someone here might have an idea of why my neighbor is doing this. I need to start out by saying that the lamination, or whatever is covering the walkway outside my apartment door, is loose/peeling and it's very noisy when you walk on it. It's literally impossible to walk over it quietly. My girlfriend and I try to sneak in to the apartment if we know the other is home, but we are never able to. I work from home most of the time, so I'm usually home when packages get dropped off. A few days after my neighbor moved in, I heard another set of footsteps approach the door very soon, like less than a minute after the packages were delivered, then walk away still trying to be quiet. I thought someone had stolen a package, but after checking with my girlfriend, nothing was missing. This kept happening 2 or 3 times a week, always on weekdays. The problem is in the afternoons when delivery drivers get to our complex. I'm usually on Zoom calls for work, so I can't get up and go to the door to see what's going on. I do know it is always Amazon packages, as I can see the delivery truck parking spot from the window next to my desk. Around 2 weeks after it started, I was not on a Zoom call when I heard packages get dropped off. I saw out the front window that it was our new neighbor taking the packages. By the time I got dressed, he was back in his apartment, so I knocked on the door and explained the situation. And asked if his packages had been being delivered to our apartment by mistake. He said he had no idea what I was talking about. I brought it up to the landlord, but after hearing that we weren't missing any packages, he just shrugged it off with a, "Huh, that's weird." I called the local police station. The officer I spoke to said I could come to the station and file a report if I wanted to. But there wasn't much they could do about, especially since we weren't missing any packages. He seemed to think it was just the Amazon driver delivering to the wrong place. A couple days ago I happened to be free and near the door when I heard some packages being dropped off. My girlfriend and I weren't expecting anything, so I knew that the neighbor would be coming to pick it up. I looked out the peephole, and sure enough, less than a minute after the packages were dropped off, he came walking up. I opened the door right as he was bending over to pick up the package. He looked at me, grabbed the package and started walking very quickly back to his apartment. I asked what he was doing taking a package from our doorstep. He said he had brought the package in from his car, even though I literally just saw him take it from our doorstep. He wouldn't stop to talk to me. I followed him and asked to see the package to see who it was addressed to, and what the apartment number was, but he kept saying he had brought the package in himself. He went back into his apartment and wouldn't answer his door when I knocked. In hindsight, I should have taken the package before he arrived, to look at the shipping label and force him to knock on my door and ask if I received the package. I'll be doing this the next time I'm able to. I'm confused as to why he is doing this. I've chatted with him a few times and heard him chatting with other neighbors, and he doesn't strike me as someone so socially awkward. They couldn't explain that his packages keep getting delivered to my apartment for some reason. I thought that he might be getting less than legal things delivered, so he didn't want them going to his address. I don't see how getting such packages delivered next door would be any better though. However, the packages are always delivered by Amazon delivery. I could be wrong on this, but I think that anything delivered by Amazon delivery is fulfilled by Amazon themselves. So it's not some possibly sketchy third party delivering. Is there something I'm missing here? No real harm is being done, I think, but not knowing why he is doing this is bugging me. Edit. Thanks for all the advice, everyone, it's much appreciated. I've contacted my landlord as well as the company that owns the apartment complex by email, and let them know what's going on. I went into the police station and filed a report as well. I let my boss know what's going on, and they gave me permission to step away in the middle of our Zoom meetings when I hear packages being delivered. So I can grab my neighbor's package the next time one is dropped off at my apartment. I plan to contact my city's post office on Monday, but I don't know if this falls in their jurisdiction since Amazon is the courier. I will make an update post when I learn more. Update. After I made my previous post, my neighbor had 2 more packages delivered. I'm guessing he had already ordered them, and they were in transit when I caught him red-handed taking a package from my doorstep. the packages had different names on them. Neither one of them matched the name my neighbor gave me when we introduced ourselves. He didn't come to my door looking for the packages either. I kept them, but I didn't open them. One box was small and light and the other was larger, fairly heavy, and I'm guessing it contains multiple items. As I mentioned in an edit to the post, I had filed a police report on the situation. I was contacted earlier this week by my local police department, and a detective came out to my apartment to ask me some questions. He wouldn't give me any solid answers on the nature of the investigation, but he was clearly very interested in my neighbor. I'm guessing my neighbor is suspected of some form of fraud like many people suggested in my previous post. I handed off the 2 packages mentioned earlier to the detective as well, so that's where things stand right now. Nothing big or exciting going on so far. If anything else comes up, I'll make another update. Comments on catching neighbor. You said you caught your neighbor red-handed. What was his reaction? What did you say, Opie? I opened my door and he was standing on my doorstep already. He made eye contact with me, bent down and picked up a package and started to walk away. I asked him what he was doing and he said he had brought that package in from his car. I asked to see the shipping label to see where it was meant to be shipped. But he still insisted he had brought the package in himself. He evaded every question I asked until he got back into his apartment. Then he wouldn't answer the door when I knocked, informing Amazon. Did Amazon agree to stop sending packages without your name to your address, Opie? I contacted Amazon, but I got the runaround for nearly an hour and a half. Everyone I talked to originally thought I was complaining about having my packages stolen. It took each of them a while to grasp the situation. And every time I was transferred to someone else who could supposedly help, but it always meant I had to explain the situation all over again. In the end nothing was resolved. You have to ask for a US-based phone room, you can request it, then ask for the fraud department. It's really hard to handle complicated issues with people who speak English as a second or third language on a phone line. Opie, I will try this. Even though he seems to be done shipping things to my address, I'd rather cover my bases. Update, so it's been a bit without any new info. However, today I heard a commotion outside my door, and stepped out to see my landlord, and the maintenance guy at my neighbor's door. The landlord was pounding on it for a good 5 minutes, but my neighbor didn't answer. The maintenance guy opened up the door and they went inside. I waited around for a while until I could catch the maintenance guy alone and asked him what was going on. He said that my neighbor hadn't paid this month's rent, so the landlord went to collect, but he wasn't there. It looks like he skipped out on his lease and moved out. The maintenance guy said, he didn't take everything, but he definitely moved out. I don't know how long he has been gone. Other than the times he came to my door to pick up packages, he was a very quiet person. I don't have any update as far as the criminal investigation into my neighbor goes. I haven't been contacted by the police, and I don't know if it's really okay just to call them up and ask them about an ongoing investigation. I guess that's all we're going to get from this mystery. Unless there's some way in California for citizens to stay updated on police investigations.